Welcome, guys, to another episode of BedWars. Wait, what's this? You might be wondering. Well, I've decided to play BedWars with some school stories mixed in because I have a sick thumbnail for this, and I've been yet to use it. So I decided to play BedWars. I am still Skywars Kid, I think. I'm not sure. I'm a bit rusty, you know. I think I need to get a new mouse because old Roccat Kain 100 isn't gonna last much longer. But today we shall talk about my school story, specifically the teacher curse. Down. I can't afford a video editing software, so I have to make sounds with my voice. Right. That's just sad, everyone's thinking. But it's the truth. So, school curse. What does that exactly mean, you say? Teacher curse, to be specific. It was a thing that I was joking around with, but then I actually thought about it for a while. Why does this consistently happen to me? To me, specifically. Well, to be fair, it was happening to everyone in our year, so you could say that, but I called it my curse, because, let's say, no one else in the other classes' teachers left, so technically my curse. Oh my god. What was that? Okay. Right. And so we start off with the first year reception, which is basically like preparing you for year one. And in reception we had a teacher called Miss D. She was really nice. And then bam, at the end of it she moved to Dubai. Yep. Quick story that happened in what was it? Reception, yeah. In reception there was first let me give you context. There's a traffic light system, right? And it's like a public humiliation stuff. Some public humiliation school stuff. And like if you go on green, you're a good boy. Good boy. But if you're you go on medium, orange, you're a bad boy, but not too bad. And if you go on red, you are really, really bad. And these all lead up to an event called the Diamond Time Disco. And the Diamond Time Disco was basically a disco. They'd blast speakers out, you dance, and it only happened to the good kids who stayed on green for one whole year. I have my fair share of stories with that damn system, but we'll get to that. And then we're gonna call two girls names Nev and Shaz, because nicknames, because I can't say real names. I'm not legally allowed. The government is still trying to trace me. So, Shaz and Nev were pulling on my arms because I came back to school because I had the chicken pox before. Like I didn't have them anymore because obviously I wouldn't be in school, and it was some sort of Easter event, and everyone was outside. You could wear whatever you want, and then Shaz tried to force me to do swimming because she thought it's not fair how I got to miss out on swimming and then they didn't. I know, right? I had the pox of a chicken. What does no one understand about the pox of the chicken? It's a serious illness, okay? Happens to a lot. It only happened to me once, and it was that year. And it was absolutely terrible. My god. But it led up to an event which I didn't come to school, and I didn't have to do swimming, which was like every Tuesday, I believe. It changed every week. And Shaz thought that wasn't fair. And then Nev came in and said he has the pox of a chicken, obviously. And then they both pulled on my arm, and then the teacher saw this, me crying, cause that hurt my arm. It felt like my ribs were about to get pulled off as well. And then Shazneen got moved down to red, which was so really bad. And then for the rest of the day, I got to sit in the reception classroom and play with cubes. Look where I am now, chat. That didn't fix me. Anyways. So then that led up to events. And now we move on to year 1, Mr. C. Mr. C, he was never around. Never at all. Barely ever. But at the end of the year, he had, we had a leavers assembly for him. We sung the One Direction song History, you know. You and me, gotta, and my copyrights. You know the song. If you don't, Google it. And we sang it for him, and that's basically year 1. We also had this really mean teacher when Mr. Cracknell wasn't around. Her name was Miss K7, and she was not the best teacher. No one liked her because she was very rude, mean, etc. Especially to me. Moving on to year 2, Mrs. C. Not related at all. I'm just using the first names. The first letter of their last names. Right, got it. And then Miss C was my neighbour. Imagine your teacher as your neighbour. Oh yeah, of course you can imagine it, because it happened to me. They stole my bed. I'm going after Reds. But imagine. And then one time, after we had Mrs. C, I saw her around my neighbourhood, and I was like, Mrs. C, what are you doing here? And she says, I live here. What are you doing here, Dominic? And I said, I live here too. This is my neighbourhood as well. And she said, oh my goodness, no way, blah blah blah. I saw her out of school a few times. And my friend doesn't like her because he had a dream where his sister was getting in trouble with her. But, anyways. So moving on to year 3, we had a teacher named Mrs. B. Yes. Oh no, Mrs. B. No, not my bed. Go, stay away. No! Where'd the Endermites come from? Oh, GG's. Right, and then Mrs. B. Right, Mrs. B. She at the end of the year she was pregnant, and she left the school. She came back in year 5, but I'm still counting this as part of the curse. Moving on to year 4, Mrs. B again. Not the previous Mrs. B. There's a new Mrs. B. I remember I'm only using the first letters of their last names, right? Okay. And Mrs. B, she was nice, and I had a story with her about how when me and my friend were moved down onto Orange for talking, though we were both sick on the day of the Diamond Time Disco. So anyways, we never had it. We never got. Oh wait, no, we weren't sick. It was the COVID. The COVID struck, so the Diamond Time Disco never happened. So we would have missed it if it actually happened, but it didn't. Lucky us. Woohoo! Yeah. And it was amazing. And then moving on to year 5. Actually, Mrs. B in year 4. Yeah. She left in year 6 for me. When I was leaving the school, so was she. But I still count that a part of the John curse. Not the John. My name's not John. Oh, I'm talking about Johnny from year 6. John. I was thinking about Johnny from year 6 for a second. But the school teacher curse. Year 5. I have nothing to talk about there. There was no curse. The curse wore off for that year. That year. I guess you can count it as that 1 year, cause when I moved to year 6, there was Mrs. B left. So moving on to year 6, my teacher Mrs. D did not leave. She I know there's another Mrs. D. This is confusing, okay? But trust me, they're all different teachers. They're all not the same teachers. No, you ain't getting my bed. But yeah, they're all different teachers, okay? But Miss, and in year 6, Mrs. D did not let, she still teaches, she's still teaching, right now, she's still teaching, right now, I checked on the website, she still teaches year 6. She was particularly targetive of me. No, because her favorite table was the back table, right? The back table was a bunch of snots that are smart, right? And I sat at the back table, but Miss would always pick on me. Yeah. But in that year, when I moved on to year 7, I'm moving on to secondary school, woohoo! When I was moving on to secondary school, woohoo! It was very sad as well, because 6 years I'd been at that school. Actually, counted as 8 because of nursery and reception. I've been at that school 8 years, and then I had to leave. It was very sad the day I left. Okay, there was like a thing called the teacher tunnel that we had to walk through, where like the teachers made a tunnel with their hands, and then we came out with it, and then we took a bunch of photos, we said our goodbyes, and we moved on to secondary school. But anyways, guys, that is going to conclude our Bed Wars adventure today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, the next one's probably going to be Bed Wars. Bye! Okay, bye, nerds.